Hello and welcome to another Dragonstorm Studios video. And today we're going to be working with drawing three-dimensional shapes once again, but we're going to try something a bit different from the simple chair that we did last time around. So I'll do a blob, I'll do a circular shape, and we'll do something a bit more complicated. We'll do a maple leaf symbol. And just to show that you can do this technique with just about anything at all and still be successful in it. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time developing the shape here. We're going to try and keep it a little more on the simple side. And we'll see how this turns out here using skills we've already got, but in a different way. Okay, so when it comes to a circular shape, we always go from the outside curve. There are no angles to worry about here like we had in the chair picture. So we go from the outermost angle of the outermost arc of the circle, as far out as it goes. And then we just simply, just like we did with the chair, create some parallel lines. So if we've got a curve like this over here, we're going to replicate, we're going to emulate that curve over here. And you've got a cylinder shape. And we can turn that into just about anything. It could be a lightsaber, it could be a pop can, it could be whatever you want it to be. But we're using the same sort of skills that we went over in the last video. And we could create our little lightsaber shape over there, and I can work on that a bit more later. When it comes to the blob, same idea. We're going to the outer edge of our shape. But here, because it's got that little kind of curvature to it, we're going to have to add some shading to show that you do have that change in the shape. So we'll start with the same as the circle. We'll just take it to a certain point and then we'll just follow this curve, and it kind of comes out and again and back, almost like a peanut sort of shape. But if we imagine that the light is coming from here, let's say, so this is our little light source, shining bright like a diamond, then we'd have it darker in here where it curves inward. And if we just add some shading in there, maybe take a blending stomp even to it would be, I suppose, a wise move here. We can create that sense that you've got three-dimensionality and the light's only hitting this directly, so it kind of fades out, the shading does. And then again, it curves away from the light over here. And adding the shading really does make a big difference. So it's good to get into the habit of thinking about where the light is coming from in your picture. And last but not least, we're going to do, just like we did with the chair, wherever two lines meet, we're going to have a line going to the center point there. Even in the dips, when you've got this line and this line coming together to form a point, you're going to have a line coming out to it. And I'll take a moment just to do all of those because that will be a bit of a time-consuming process, and then we'll see how that looks. Okay, so all those lines have been put in, and again, thinking about our light source for a moment, being up here, we can already imagine where we get it darker. First, though, we're going to figure out how far out the maple leaf extends. So if this is our one line here, then let's say it goes to, I don't know, maybe a centimeter out, so about here, and we're just going to follow our curves. So that part sticks out there. This part comes out a bit further, so it would be about here. And with all of these, we're just going to try and measure out to make it about 1 centimeter of thickness. This line here parallel to this line here. This line would come up to about here and then back down again before coming back up to here. And you'd get some thickness here, and then that line is not quite as far out. There we go. And then once again, if we just think about where the light source is and shade in where it would be darker, away from the light, we can kind of see that three-dimensionality a little bit better. That's hitting there directly. This would be shaded a little bit. This would be in darkness. This would be in light. This would be in darkness. And where this part overlaps would be in darkness. But then the light would hit it more directly as it reaches the shadow from this portion of the maple leaf is going to be casting a shadow down here. And this is all in shadow as well. This is in shadow, and this is in shadow. And you can kind of see that maybe a little bit better now. It really makes a bigger difference once you erase all of your guidelines. And once we do that, it would look something like this. It actually almost reminds me of a maple candy that we have here in Canada. It's got that nice thickness to it there. All right, so that's how you create the idea of objects in space, which are not conventional. They're a bit more out there. And this is a good practice when it comes to thinking more three-dimensionally in terms of one-point perspective. So give it a try, see what you come up with for ideas. Again, numbers, letters turn out really well. Sports team logos look great also for this particular technique. Give it a try and see if you can master the use of one-point perspective. Thanks so much for watching and have a fantastic day.